I had to make sure I had my rain boots in the car. Good morning. It's Wednesday, February 5th, and you're watching WGXA Morning News on Fox 24. I'm Victoria DeCardenas.
And I am Terrell Bailey. That is exactly right, Victoria. It's been feeling pretty good outside all week. Let's go ahead and send things to our very own Gary Thigpen. So, good morning, Gary. What kind of weather can we expect this Wednesday?
Well, good morning, Victoria, Terrell. Today we're expecting clouds, of course, to be on the increase and also shower activity. And the main threat that we're going to have today would be coming in here late tonight into tomorrow. We're going to have two rounds of possible severe weather here in Middle Georgia. The first round comes in late today into tonight. Second round comes in during the day tomorrow, pretty much any time tomorrow, but especially in the afternoon. And the main threats right now look to be damaging winds with the straight line winds from those thunderstorms. And we can't rule out an isolated tornado as well. And of course, we're going to be dealing with a lot of heavy rain here in Middle Georgia. The threat right now, today's not looking too bad here in Middle Georgia, but as we get on into tomorrow, the threat level has increased to a 3. So that means the ingredients is there, the possibility is there that we could end up with some damaging winds and again, an isolated tornado. As we look at today, around noontime, we'll be pretty much rain free, just a few showers out there. But then this afternoon is when it begins to pick up at 5 o'clock. Overnight tonight, heavier showers and maybe even some severe storms. And then we'll have to watch this area coming in here tomorrow. That's what we'll be bringing in, possibly the severe weather with that frontal system. But we'll keep an eye on all of this for you here at Fox 24.
And you don't want to be caught in any of this bad weather without the things that you need. In the case of a storm emergency, you need to pre-plan and be prepared for the worst. In this storm prep kit, you need enough food and water, including any pets for 3 days. Also, you need to keep in mind you could be without electricity and water. This is actually in case you're on your own until emergency workers can get to you. Since you could be without electricity, you need to include items like flashlights or lamps or candles that can make sure you have lights to see, and also include those extra batteries as well. Also, items that can deal with the cold, like blankets. Make sure to include some comforting items or comforting food that can help you, your children, or you and your grandkids cope with the stress that comes in the case of an emergency.
Good morning, I'm Omer Shinkins. Throughout the show, I'll bring you the latest breaking news happening right now in Jefferson County, Alabama. An officer is in critical condition after being shot. The Kimberly officer was reportedly shot in the line of duty. The shooting happened just after 10:30 last night. Here's what we know. This all started as a pursuit in Warrior, Alabama. Kimberly police then joined in on the pursuit. That's when officials say the officer was shot on Interstate 65. That officer was rushed to the hospital and is in critical condition. As for the suspects, we are being told the shooter is in custody. 3 others have also been detained. Now, a press conference is set to take place in just a few moments. Our sister station is on the scene working to learn more. Coming up within the next half hour, I'll bring you the latest updates. Back to you at the desk.
All right, thank you, Amaris. And back here at home, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office is trying to find out who shot up a car at a North Macon apartment complex last night. The victim was identified as a 20-year-old man. He was being picked up at the Vista Apartments on Arkwright Road around 10:30 last night. When the victim got in the car was shot and hit at least once. The driver of the car and the victim drove away to avoid any additional gunfire. No one was injured during the shooting, but if you do have any additional information, you're asked to contact the Bibb County Sheriff's Office or Macon Regional Crime Stoppers.
Now, we've been speaking with law enforcement, and deputies also tell us this shooting may be connected to the one at that same complex from earlier this month. That shooting happened on January the 29th. When deputies arrived, they found a 19-year-old teen who had been shot several times. He survived, though. Now, during the altercation, the victim had struck 3 cars in the parking lot. A second victim was there, and they had minor injuries but no gunshot wounds. According to authorities, a suspect has yet to be identified. But of course, this is a developing story that we here at WGXA are following, and we'll be sure to bring you the latest. And we're continuing coverage over an officer-involved shooting out of Twiggs County. GBI agents are still investigating. Authorities tell us an unmarked trooper patrol vehicle was driving on Highway 57 when a white pickup truck sideswiped it. They go on to tell us the trooper followed the truck in a chase. Both cars then crashed. We're also told that's when the trooper ran out of the car, shooting at the subject. Now, we've got this confirmed by Special Agent Rickson. He confirmed that the subject did have a gun in the truck. That subject is recovering in a local hospital without life-threatening injuries, and he is facing possible charges. As for the trooper, he is reported to be okay.
And the wife of an Eatonton police officer who was recently arrested for domestic violence is dead from a gunshot wound to the head. According to Putnam County Sheriff Howard Sills, his office has not yet ruled the death of 44-year-old Amanda Peralt a homicide or a suicide. Her husband, Eatonton police officer Seth Peralt, was arrested on multiple domestic violence charges just last week and was released on $1,500 bond. Sheriff Sills says Officer Peralt has not been charged with his wife's death, but his office is, quote, scrutinizing this as much as possible. And let's take a look at some of the top stories that we have for you this morning. We are moving on to day 2 of no official winner of the Democratic Iowa caucus. The state's Democratic Party released some results yesterday that came with a surprising glimpse into how the race could shape moving forward this year.
Also, today is the last day in President Trump's impeachment trial in the Senate. Later on today, the full Senate will be gathering to cast one final vote on the matter, deciding if the president will be removed from office or serve out the rest of his term.
But first, we're going to look into the president's State of the Union address that he gave just last night.
We launched the Great American Comeback. Tonight I stand before you to share the incredible results. Jobs are booming, incomes are soaring, poverty is plummeting, crime is falling, confidence is surging, and our country is thriving and highly respected again.
In his address to both houses of Congress and the nation, he laid out his vision for the year ahead, an important one as he looks to be reelected. This puts extra meaning for his speech this year, as it is doubling as a campaign event in some ways. He laid out how he envisions the last year of his first term to go. The theme of his speech last night was a great American comeback, taking a look at healthcare, immigration, and the economy, national security, all this that was done under his administration.
Well, coming up, we have the latest information surrounding the coronavirus. Stick with us. Fox 24 will be back in just a few minutes.